Hi guys, welcome back to Decidedly Diabetic, a channel dedicated to all things type 1 diabetes. Today I'm excited to be reviewing Diathrive for you. If you haven't heard of them, Diathrive is a company that provides basic, affordable diabetes supplies. In this video I'm going to talk to you about how I discovered Diathrive, what they offer, whether they're accurate, and if I would recommend them overall. This video is not sponsored and I purchased all of these products on my own. Let's start first with how I discovered Diathrive. My brother currently uses a Dexcom G6 CGM. The G6 is amazing, but it's not without its downfalls. I plan on doing a full review of the G6 in an upcoming video, but for rambling's sake, let's just say that for one reason or another, my brother still needs to perform finger sticks about 4 times a day, give or take. So because of that, our endocrinologist wrote a prescription for him to get 4 strips per day of his Freestyle test strips. He uses Freestyle because he has the Omnipod and that's the only strip that it will read. His endo had been writing this prescription for months and there had never been an issue until February of this year. When I went to go refill his prescription, Walgreens informed me that Medicare is only paying for 3 strips a day maximum now because he's on a CGM, and they believe that when you're on a CGM you don't need any test strips at all. In an ideal world that would be the case, but unfortunately it's just not the reality yet. There are still some downsides to the technology which makes it so you do have to use some finger sticks pretty much every day. Not nearly as many as he normally would, but it is still necessary. So they told me that they would fill a prescription for 3 strips a day and I was free to pay for the extra container on my own. So I picked up my 3-a-day prescription and went home because I didn't have the extra money at the time to buy the last container. I went home and I searched the internet for quite some time, hoping that I'd be able to find some Freestyle strips for cheaper than what Walgreens was charging. Unfortunately, even the cheapest online retailer was still more than I was comfortable paying. So then I considered the idea of having a second monitor system, one with maybe cheaper strips. But even the store brand version of these meters carried a pretty hefty price tag for the strip refills after you purchase the initial kit. Then I found Diathrive. I found tons of positive reviews, and at only $25 to get an entire starter kit, I figured that I didn't have anything to lose, so I decided to give it a shot. Basically how Diathrive works is you start out by getting the starter kit. That comes with a meter, a lancing device, test strips, lancets, and a glucose control solution. And then after you get the starter kit, you get to choose how many lancets and test strips you need in the future on a subscription basis. However, you don't have to sign up for a subscription if you don't want to, so don't let that scare you away. There are so many options to purchasing from this website. You can do a one-time purchase, you can do a monthly subscription, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, and you get to choose how many of everything that you want in those shipments. There are pre-built plans, or you can build your own. Shipping is always free, and if you're not satisfied for any reason, they will give you a full refund. You can also modify or cancel your subscription at any time. So, this is what comes in your starter kit. You get a little carrying case to fit everything inside. Get a box of lancets. Inside, they just come in like a little plastic bag. They're just a standard shape, so they'll fit in any of your other lancing devices as well. So you get a box of 100 of these. The whole box will fit. You also get the lancing device. It's just a standard device. You just unscrew the top and it goes from 1 to 5. So get the monitor. A box of test strips. And a bottle of control solution. I also purchase alcohol pads from them because they're only $5 for a box of 100. I usually plop them in behind the meter. There you go. And it all fits in very nicely. The meter is FDA approved and has a 5-year warranty, and if for some reason you end up needing a second one, a replacement meter is only $15. The meter keeps your averages, and you can even hook it up with a USB cable and download all of the data off of it onto your computer. I initially went with a 3-month plan that would give me 500 strips and 500 Lancets every month. The total price for the 3-month plan at that quantity was $78 every 3 months, which comes out to $26 a month for 166 strips and Lancets. That comes out to about 16 cents per strip as opposed to 60 cents per strip that I was looking at for the freestyle strips. I'll admit I was pretty skeptical with this price point about whether it would be accurate or not, but the website does a really good job of informing you about just how accurate it is. Diathrive is very open about posting all of its research, studies, trials, and all of the information that comes from all of that. In order to be FDA approved, the meter has to be within a certain range within a certain percentage of the time. And according to all of the data and studies that have been done with Diathrive, not only does it meet those standards, but it exceeds them. Another really cool thing that Diathrive does is it also provides you with a control solution. It's basically just a little vial of liquid that has a concentrated amount of glucose in it, and it gives you the numbers on the side of the strips, what that range should be, so you can actually test the accuracy of every bottle of strips before you even use them. So that just goes to show that they really do stand behind their claims of being accurate 99% of the time. I'll also insert a few clips of me comparing Logan's Freestyle Omnipod meter just to give you an idea of where the numbers stand. I've never noticed it to be off by more than a couple points, high or low, but the Omnipod meter is also held to the same standards, so that one is also given some leeway to be inaccurate as well. I did end up canceling that plan, but it wasn't because I didn't like them. It was because I actually liked them so much that I decided to forego the subscription altogether and just sign up for an annual plan. The only confusing thing about this was when I went online and I went to their annual plan tab, the Lancet to strip ratio is completely different. Whereas when you create your own subscription, you can have the amount of Lancets match the amount of strips that you order every month. On the annual plan that I chose, I would have ended up getting 1,200 strips at once, but only 200 Lancets. This was a little bit confusing to me, so I actually reached out to the company to see if it was just a typo or something like that, and they responded to me the next day. They said, "Of course we can send you the same amount of Lancets to match your number of test strips. When you process your order, send us an email that you process the yearly plan so we can make a note to the order and add the Lancets." Although this is a little bit weird that they have it set up like this, I do appreciate that they got back to me so quickly and they were willing to accommodate it. For me, getting the matching number of Lancets doesn't really matter. I was actually hoping there was a way to not order the Lancets because we actually use PIP Lancets. I did a separate review for PIP and I will link that down below in the description if you're interested. So anyway, by switching to that annual plan, the total cost ended up being $154 for 1,200 test strips, or about 13 cents per strip, which is a huge difference compared to the 60 cents per strip that the Freestyle would cost me. So as to whether or not I would recommend this company, I definitely would. The founder used to work in the medical insurance field, and he was blown away by seeing how much money these companies were upcharging for supplies that people need to survive. So he decided to branch off on his own and make supplies at an actual affordable rate so people everywhere had access to them despite having insurance or not. Their website is also so much more than just an online shop. They have a blog that posts recipes, resources, research studies, and articles all dedicated to diabetes. This just goes to show that they're truly not just a supplier, they're actually part of the diabetes community. If you would like to give Diathrive a try, I will link them down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.